I'm just going to dive in right here. As Christians, we don't have sex before marriage. That's basically the same thing as looking like, if you look at a woman lustfully, then you have basically already done that, committed adultery, and cheated with, I don't know what to say since you're not married, but you know, Jesus. You're cheating with Jesus. That's another example. So, has anybody, just raise your hands, heard of a Christian in school or anything going off and having sex or something? That's a good few. Oh, there should be more hands raised than that. Yeah, there you go. Back there too. Okay, cool. Well, basically, you get that everywhere. There's always going to be a Christian that claims he's a Christian and goes to church all the time and goes off and has sex and does all this other stuff with girls. And that is not what we as Christians are called to do. We are called to be holy and stay pure. That means stay abstinent and don't do that stuff. So, basically, I have one note about this. If you are doing this, if you're staying abstinent, you are being holy. Like, if you're looking at people wrong, you're still being unholy, but it's still the same thing it says in that. Being unholy would be having sex and committing adultery with Jesus. And just like that's not the marriage bed that I see, but that's what Brandon went over the last couple weeks, is staying like with Jesus and not cheating on him for the world, which we will all do because we all say. So next thing I'm going to talk about is being witnesses in school. Name some things that you can do to be witnesses in school.
Not cussing.
Not cussing. Not having sex.
Not cheating.
Not cheating.
Being an upstander for bullying.
What'd you say?
Being an upstander for bullying.
Okay, I didn't
What?
understand. Speak up.
Not being a bystander for bullying is what he's saying.
Okay, there you go. That makes sense.
Upstander.
Okay, upstander.
Okay,
Bystander or
don't
upstander.
be a bystander. Alright, so. Exactly. Be a witness in school. Show people what Christians are really for. We're not for going, like, we're not, Christian is not about going off and partying and having sex just because you say you're a Christian. We're really not called to do that. We're called to be holy. So be a witness in school. Don't do these things. Stay out of trouble. Don't cheat on God. Basically, if you've been here the last couple of weeks, it's all the things that Brandon said, plus more. So, like I said again, everything you do affects everyone's opinions on all Christians around the world. How's that make you feel?
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. That's exactly what I'm doing. But it's supposed to be pressure's on. So, we're called to look like Jesus, and looking like Jesus is not doing any of the things I just listed. So look like Jesus and be a witness in your school, and make those people's opinions good about Christians, not bad. And also, guys, Christians don't cuss. We don't cuss. Like, if you're going off cussing a storm, it's not giving a good example of a Christian. No, it's really bad. It's not being a good example as Christians. If you go off and say you're a Christian again, and go off and cuss, then you're not being a very good witness or example of what a Christian is called to be. And also, who said that they're going to do something and they never really get around to it and it just kind of made them feel a little bit better? That they said that they were going to do it? Chris? Everybody's hand should be on. Alright, so basically the church, this is one thing that I found with the church today. Like, we went over last year what's wrong with the church. We say that we're going to do these things, like go off and pray for people in the world, go off and like do all these things that like would be great to do, but we end up not doing them. And just by saying that we're going to do them and bragging about it, it just makes us feel better, and we're not actually going to go off and do it. It's not being a very good witness. It's just making yourself feel better. You say you're going to go help out the homeless shelter and go brag about it just to make yourself feel better, but you never end up doing it. You're really not being holy in a way, because you're kind of lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself, but you're making yourself feel better. So don't do that. Do what you say you're going to do. That goes back to, I didn't write down the verse, but do what you're saying you're going to do. And also, turn your Bibles to Colossians 3, 8, 3, just 3. And then we'll go 8 through 10. Still should put it in mark or something. Okay, where is it? Okay, everybody there? 3, 8 through 10. It's after Thessalonians. Wait, no, it's Philippians. Here, Ephesians, Philippians, yeah. Okay, everybody ready? Alright. But now you must rid yourself of all such of these things: anger, rage, malice, slander, and filthy language from your lips. Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices, and have put on new self, which is being renewed in the image of its creator. The image, we are supposed to be images of Jesus. It goes back to looking like Jesus. Looking like Jesus does not include these things. If you throw these things out, you're basically getting rid of yourself as a Christian. And getting rid of yourself gets rid of these things that the world has. Just because somebody can't see you doing things, he can still see you. Behind that door, in your room, alone, whatever. They can see what you're doing. And by yourself, anywhere. He knows what goes on all the time. And if you're doing something behind, like, where nobody else can see you, then he still sees you, which is still a sin. So, basically, you need to become holy and be little gods. Thank you.